Hello. We're gonna see what this video is about. I have a lot of emotions coming up today, if you can tell. I'm kind of teary-eyed today. So strange. I went on an amazing hike yesterday. Still in California, and it's an area, there's so many sacred sites in so many different places. But yeah, I was told this morning that, yeah, sometimes a lot comes up for people when they go there. So it was kind of like the Panther Meadow area. Those of you who know the area, like near Shasta, there's different waters and springs there. Yeah, initially I was like, oh, I just keep crying. I can't stop crying. It's very natural to ask, like, why am I crying? Because we relate crying to something bad, like if we're sad. We relate crying to, why is this happening? There's nothing that happened this morning in particular that brings on like this crying, except a few thoughts. There's a few thoughts of, I'll be leaving this area soon to go to another pretty place. By the way, there's pretty places everywhere. Iowa, Nebraska, Ohio, all the places you think that are like, ugh, I don't want to drive through there. There's all pretty parts of the states. There's all not so pretty parts of the states. Even Colorado, where I'll be headed to, has a whole area that, by most standards, because it doesn't have the mountains, it's very plain, isn't as great climate-wise, and not as interesting to look at. But if you look close, there's beauty everywhere. So I didn't know what this video was going to be about. The more I set up for it, the less I cried, thoughts going somewhere else. So what's kind of the message for today? I figured if I got on here and I was going to continue to cry, I would just say, come cry with me. I've made so many great friends here, and usually when I go places and I make so many great friends, it's no big deal. Like I go where I go, and I know they're always going to be there, right? Your friends are always going to be there. But yeah, there's like what's nice is to feel welcome. Feeling welcomed by people that I meet and I travel to. That is really nice. Oh, look at that. The sacred geometry in the background. It's like a crown. Look. It's like one of those Renaissance paintings. I've got a crown. I'm gonna post where you can find the sacred geometry, because there's actual tarot deck by a man whose name escapes me right now. However, I will try to remember to put it in the post so you guys can go and purchase his cards and check out his sacred geometry if you're liking this tapestry. Got it at a conference. So, me just do this. I'm going to talk about, again, what was coming up before. So tightness in the throat, tightness here, actually above the belly button in the solar plexus. And I have to say, it seems to be more of a sadness of leaving this place currently. I think I wouldn't normally if I didn't have other things to tend to, which I also love. I'd probably be staying right where I am. So there goes the balance in life, right? Having to tend to many different things, right? Finding that balance. Being in that place where you feel comfortable. Sometimes you have to go into a place where you feel uncomfortable for a little bit. That whole like, I can feel my throat kind of clearing a little bit. I think it helps to talk like this. I'm a little glad that I'm not just like bawling in front of all you people. Probably like get to the point. Gypsy, get to the point. The point is to breathe. That's what I'm gonna say. Apparently I'm not crying anymore, but I have been through this morning. Took a dog for a walk and was still like teary-eyed the whole way, asking myself why. There it is, sadness. So, the point I made in the beginning of the video, sadness. We often try and avoid it. I was talking to a friend earlier. It's like, how are you doing today? Like, I'm good. Try not to make eye contact. I'm like looking away, looking up here, looking at the dog. Breathing a little bit. Going, I'm just, something's going on right here. Just trying to have a few things I need to do today, but I'm just gonna take care of this first. It's hard to know how long these moments last, right? It can vary for people. I'm trying to look at you instead of looked out here. I was listening to something by Matt Kahn. Could have been 5 to 8 years ago, Matt Kahn. And he was going through something major that happened in his life. And he wasn't speaking of it specifically, but just to the energies that come up, the emotions, the feelings. And he said something that really, really made sense. When stuff like this happens, it's an opportunity. An opportunity, you say. Yes, I say. An opportunity. How can it be an opportunity? It's an opportunity to feel what's coming up. Because if it is coming up in the body, it means that it was held in the body at some other point in time. Could have been as early as childhood. Could have been in your 20s. Could have been like something from like 30 minutes ago. Like an altercation, disagreement with somebody else, coworker, friend, partner. Complete strangers. But something that like hits you and you're like, and then you held it inside. You didn't let it out. So what I'm going to remind you of is that wise wisdom. It's an opportunity to feel it. And I'm all about the high vibration, you know, keep those vibrations high. But we are in form, and we are a cellular structure. I won't even say structure because we're not actually a structure. We're not solid. But we are in form, just kind of like vibrating at a certain vibration to keep us here, right? So within this form, sometimes these uncomfortable feelings get trapped within the cells, and they feel in a way that, first off, we don't want to let people see that this is happening and that we're feeling this way, which is probably why I'm doing this video. If you ever asked me why I was going to do YouTube videos, it would be the other stuff that I post. And by the way, I have tons of like beautiful new footage of either pretty places, stuff on Instagram, more peacocks that I encountered, but yet I'm doing a video on crying. So here we go. I'm just gonna say, let it be an opportunity for you. Whatever emotion arises, I'm gonna quote Matt Kahn, love that. And you love it by feeling it. You breathe. You can hold it, and then you can let it go. A sure sign is when this stuff kind of happens and you say you can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't. Tell yourself you can. And breathe. Take a breath. And let it out. See how that feels. It might be hard. It might be a half breath. Take another breath. Does it start to feel better? Does it make more emotions come out? If it does, let it come out. Take another breath. And love that. Your mind is going to tell you not to breathe. And breath is where life is. We know this when we're laughing and we're having a great time. We're breathing a lot. If we're laughing, we're just there's so much oxygen coming out that we can't even, handle it sometimes, especially if we're tickled. No matter what it says up here, know that right here is saying to breathe. Breathe through the anxiousness. Breathe through the anxiety. Breathe through sadness. If it's anger, breath will help you pause. Don't think that you're not going to be in a higher state of being if you don't, if you allow this to come through, because it's not true. Vibration is always changing. It's always ups and downs. You get into those downs and you pop right back up. Ever try and dive down deep, holding your breath, and then at some point you gotta pop back up to breathe? That's kind of what it's like. You're going deep, deep into the body, because this is where it's all at, in the body. It's great for us to be all up here and connect with Source, God, Universe. But we are in form. We're in the body. And sometimes the body's got to release some stuff, right? So let it happen. That's all I'm going to say. Let it happen. Let's just take a few more deep breaths before I close with this. Because apparently it wasn't necessarily tears that you needed to see today. It was breathing and just knowing that it's okay. It's okay to have these times. Don't beat yourself up over it. Let it happen. Breathe. Hold. Let it out. Let's do 2 more. Breathe. Breathe. Do you feel like you're more in the body? Do you feel calmer? I feel calmer. So thank you for assisting me with whatever came in today. I hope whoever needed to see this right now saw it and received what they needed to receive. If you need more, take time after this video and just practice that easy breath. The first step is to breathe and pop yourself up out of the water.